Hey guys, it's the end of August, end of summer, and I wanted to give you a little update on where our garden's at. Here we go! So we took some of the house next door's garden. We bought the house next door and we are renting it out now, but we took some of their backyard garden so that we could expand our garden beds. So there used to be an old ratty fence here. We replaced it and we took the fence down and we used it to create these garden beds over here. We'll get to that in a second. We created this little garden path so that we could walk without getting ourselves muddy, although you wouldn't know that there's a path here because this enormous squash has overtaken it. So we painted these cedar beds pink and we created these raised beds. This was supposed to, I had great ambitions for this. This was supposed to be a really big okra bed, but I have lost this enormous battle I've been in with a badger, and this badger has just eaten all of my okra. So I didn't get any okra, but we do have these long beans here growing in this bed, and over in this one we have these purple potted pole beans, and these are really delicious, sauteed with peanuts and with some sesame oil and various spices. And then we have a couple of like peppers and stuff. Honestly, the beds are fairly overcrowded and not particularly well organized. We kind of have slacked off this year. But we have some green tomatoes here growing. We created this bed but haven't really planted anything in it except for this rose. Over here we have a variety of tomatoes which we have staked and have fallen down with various storms. There's a bunch of yummy tomatoes. Delicious. Here we have this enormous squash. Got one little guy growing on him. And many different types of tomatoes. So this bed has really gone crazy. This bed we use our own compost, and we learned in the process of tending to it that our compost did not cook enough, so all of the seeds that were in there just sprouted out. So in this overgrown tiered bed, we have a bunch of weeds, as well as radishes and carrots, and those are not quite ready to pick yet. So these are the beds that we created using the old fence. We have some corn, which didn't really take off. We have a couple of eggplants. We have some Shiseido peppers, one of which has been on there for too long. These are this tiny little tomato plant with one single fruit. We planted a bunch of onions and stuff like that here. These beds, we kind of got a late start, and I have high hopes for them for next year, but this year we didn't have a ton going on. So moving on up here. We got a number of eggplants going. These are the early long purple variety, which are ready to be picked. I'm gonna cook those this weekend. This bed got really overwhelmed with weeds and grass very quickly. We have some beans. We had some beans here. These green variety of tomatoes. I don't know what this is. This might be a weed. I have no idea. It might be. Honestly, I don't know. It might be the tomatillo that I planted because I've never really grown that before. Not entirely sure. Over here we have some corn, which didn't really take off. Some more okra, which the badger got too. This was a successful bed. This was our potatoes. We harvested a bunch of potatoes and those are curing. Here we've got some roses, which I really need to train. And a massive squash plant is growing out of my compost pile. I think multiple massive squash plants are growing out of my compost pile. And over here we have another sort of wild and unkempt number of tomato beds. These tomatoes just never really got very big. Some of them did okay though. This like orange variety did pretty good. But yeah, it's been a sort of somewhat disappointing year for the garden. I was injured pretty severely throughout most of the season, so a lot of the work that normally would have gotten done just didn't happen. But I think we have a really good setup for next year. The beds are all in place, the hard work has been done, and we're working right now on our fall garden seeds, which hopefully will be somewhat more successful than our summer garden has been. Over here we're still kind of working, but we do have a couple of beds. We've got a number of tomatoes. We have a bunch of tomatoes over here actually. It's been a while since I've been over here. I know we've got a watermelon over here somewhere. There's watermelon. And lots and lots and lots of these green tomatoes. And that's it, guys. That's our garden as of late August. It's our second year gardening. We really overdid it. But I'm excited for next year because I think that we're gonna do a lot better about timing everything. We got really gung-ho with the seed starting, and then sort of quickly became quite overwhelmed dealing with a knee injury and other stuff. But I maintain lots of hope that we'll be able to eventually grow about 80% of the food that we eat during the summer from this backyard garden, and I'm pretty excited about it. The real dream is over here. You can see I have espaliered a couple of apple trees. I'd like to continue doing that all along the side, different types of trees, so that we can one day like kind of walk along the side here and just grab fruit from the garden. We also planted some berries over there, which I'm hoping will kick off in coming years. But yeah, I have lots of big, ambitious garden dreams for the next 30 years in this space, and I'm hoping that you guys will give me any advice. If you're more experienced, if you're a beginner, comment down below and let us know your thoughts. And if you have any solutions for badgers that don't involve shooting them, I would love to hear it. Thanks, guys.